Hello everyone, tonight we're trying something new, as I've been a Magic player for over a decade at this point, but I've never once tried Yu-Gi-Oh! I have not even seen the anime. Other than some stuff that I've seen on YouTube, pretty much have no clue how this game works. And of course, just good old cultural osmosis. Like, I know how Pot of Greed works. I know Blue Eyes White Dragon is important. So we've got a nice little tutorial here. Just some practice matches. Learn how to play Master Duel. Here you'll learn how to summon monsters and use spell cards. Reduce your opponent's life points to 0. Pretty self-explanatory. In Fate. Beckoned by the Sword Chalice. Health Melter. Okay, so that's just flavor text, I guess. Interesting that they don't have. Interesting that they apparently don't have anything to differentiate. Okay, you can only summon one once per turn. Although I understand from what I've seen that there is a thing called there's a concept of special summoning which lets you bypass that. Let's proceed to the battle phase and try attacking. So I guess our guy is able to attack immediately. And that's another thing I've picked up, is that basically everything has trample. Damage you inflict to your opponent's LP is equal to the amount your monster's attack exceeds your opponent monster's attack. End your turn. Now they've got Neo Bug. You draw a spell card, or activate a spell card. Destroy the one face-up monster your opponent controls that has the highest defense, your choice of Tide. Oh, so it's basically like a position. I guess that basically just means that if I already had stuff in all of these parts of the spell and trap zone, another thing that I know purely from watching stuff on YouTube. I wouldn't have been able to use that. Spell cards are primarily used during your turn. Let's proceed to the battle phase and try attacking. And yeah, this should finish my opponent off. Yeah, seems straightforward so far, but it is just the first part of the tutorial. This is literally the part where it's explaining how to use the basic controls of the game. They got 500 gems to use on whatever those can be used for. Right, here we will learn how to use trap cards and special cards out that are effective in the graveyard. Yeah, that's another thing I've noticed is that like Yu-Gi-Oh cards are wordy enough that they feel the need to shorten graveyard to GY. Either that or maybe there's some like legal bullshit that I don't know about. But then again, like there's so many other terms you could use if the matter of just legally not being able to use the term graveyard because like Wizards has a patent on it or something. And you, like just call it the discard pile or something. Right, let's try using a trap card. Or let's set a trap card. I guess I'll just set that there. So, at the very least right now, I'm certain that positioning doesn't matter. Trap cards can be used on the turn after they are set. It's basically like Foretell. Let's summon a monster. Like Foretell was probably inspired by Yu-Gi-Oh! To some degree. You cannot enter the battlefield when going first. Okay, so that's the restriction. Is that you've basically got summoning sickness on the first turn of the game. Which makes sense because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have a resource system. Saying if there was any way you could just slam down, just turn one, something big enough to kill your opponent and attack with it, then the game would just be over. Right, your opponent's monster is attacking, and apparently Skill Successor does something to interact with that. We'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Got a little sidetracked there. Let's see. Yeah. Activation. Draw Blade Knight. Gains 400 attack while you have one or less cards in your hand. You control no other monsters. The effects of flip monsters destroyed by a battle when the all with this card are negated. Some cards can be activated from your graveyard for a special effect. Create the skill successor in your graveyard. And to summon Blade Knight. And that's that tutorial over. Structure deck starting deck. I guess then we go on to goal. Let's apply what we learned in the last two chapters in a duel. For this duel, Well, each player will start with 4,000 life points. Reduce your opponent's life points to 0 to win the duel. Learn the basics of Duelist. Now remember, everything you've learned so far and claim this next victory on your own. Chosen by the World Chalice. Because neither of these do anything specific. Guess maybe we just summon... Let's just summon the bigger one. I think maybe it's... Oh, that does nothing apparently. How nice of this button to just do absolutely nothing. First I thought I was gonna like open a web browser or something to some kind of database that will give me more information on what all this is supposed to do. Think... Guess you can just set it. Okay, so the AI just did a lot. During the end phase of this card was normal summon this turn, you contribute this card to excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. You can add an excavated spell/trap to your hand. Also send the remaining cards to the graveyard. Okay. So it's basically mill until you hit a spell/trap. And then you put the spell or trap in in your hand. Okay, so this one has more stats technically because it has some defense points. I guess we set Dust Tornado so that if it becomes relevant, we can use it. We attack with both of these and just immediately win. So guess it's not going to become relevant. Right, so I guess it's the basic tutorial complete. There's so many cards and duelists ready for you to discover. Grab your new deck and venture out into the wide world of dueling. Select to view deck contents. You can also acquire the decks you did not select by completing missions. You got Power of the Dragon, Synchro of Unity, and Link Generation. I have no idea if any of these are any better than the others. I think I might just go with the dragon one. And like, I'm gonna, by completing missions, I can get all of them anyway. Place in your player name between 3 and 12 characters. That's exactly 12. You can change your player name later. Oh, this is fun. 8.19 gigabytes of data will be... Well, guess we're gonna be, guess we're gonna be sitting here for a little while. Well, it's after midnight. So you know what? While we wait, I can do my Myrtle.
On the mark, get set. We're riding on the internet, cyberspace, set free. Hello, virtual reality.
Interactive appetite, searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
I am admittedly a little curious as to why it didn't just include the 8.19 gigabytes in the download. Okay, let's see. The second tall suspect had a... Let's... Just to be on the safe side, I'm switching the category over to Games Plus Demos for this section. The second tall suspect had a diamond... Okay, so first of all... Oh, the poison birthday cake was used. This is an anagram. I think this is Officer Copper had a pair of literal golden handcuffs. Fitting for a police officer, I suppose. That means he wasn't the culprit. This fingerprint was fat. Oh shit. That's just vermilion. And second tall suspect had a diamond encrusted skeleton key. 5'11", 5'8", 5'9", 5'9". Okay, Comrade Champagne was the second tallest suspect. Yeah, but Duchess Vermilion had never been in the Michelin starred cafeteria. Uncle Midnight brought a gold watch. Silverton the Legend was seen hanging around it on the private suite. Single cufflink was found by a video game console. Oh, which means that the exploding cufflinks were in the rec room. Means that we can rule out everyone except for Earl Grey and Silverton the Legend. Silverton the Legend has already been ruled out as being in the location. Alright, so that means that was Silverton the Legend in private suite. And we are still downloading. At least I got a little taste of Yu-Gi-Oh! Before this happened. It just seems a little odd that, you know... Oh, it's downloading this now rather than you know what we could do? While we wait, do some GeoGuessr. You know, that nice go-to.
On your mark, get set. We're riding on the internet, cyberspace, set free. Hello, virtual reality.
Interactive appetite, searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
Alright, so I guess while we wait for Master Duel to finish downloading multiple gigabytes of information, we can do like a quick round of GeoGuessr. Okay, I was kind of actually planning on doing some GeoGuessr soon anyway, because just my plan for and is because because I'm thinking about doing GeoGuessr in place of Sims 3 this Monday, as I'm finally actually switching over to the new schedule. So this Monday, but this Monday being the 3rd, and thus being the closest I'm gonna come this year to streaming on the 4th, most likely, I'm thinking we do some grillin', we do some all-American grillin' with just the US map. Which in some ways could actually make things more difficult because, we can't just be like, okay, there's Japanese. Because, like, you have to, in order to pick out a particular area of the United States, you have to go off of the vibe of, like, particular states. Whereas, if you know it's in Japan, you can get reasonably close. Those because Japan is relatively not that big. For a solid 5 seconds, and honestly, this place looks very familiar for some reason, and like not the reason. Like, I don't think I've been here necessarily, but maybe it's a case of just like a little bit of deja vu. Or maybe even like we've had this particular location and on GeoGuessr before, or even like hey, maybe I saw it. Oh, hold on. That's a town of Chapel Hill. In fact, I think this might actually be Chapel Hill, North Carolina. So like, granted, I've never been to Chapel Hill. But, all it would take is for various places around North Carolina to look vaguely similar. Now I've just got to figure out where is Chapel Hill. Like, it says Town of Chapel Hill on the sign in here. And if you'll notice, the speed limit is 25, and I'm pretty sure that's the standard speed limit for any town in North Carolina. But, like, there could be other Chapel Hills somewhere, but between the immediate vague sense of familiarity, like, I still have to actually find Chapel Hill. Well, and that is proving to be the difficult part here. Like, it should be fairly easy to find because, like, it's a big enough town to have a college in it. Like a UNC college. But clearly I don't know my own state as well as I thought. I'm just gonna plunk it down somewhere in the state. Yeah, see, there it is. Somehow I couldn't see it. But like, apparently various places in North Carolina just look similar enough that's like this place looks weirdly familiar even though I've never been there. Alright, we've got Cyrillics or somewhere in Eastern Europe. Yep, it's all a matter of location. Like, you know, if we can get a flag or egg or something. Or I might be able to do something with a thing with a URL. Well, I thought I might be able to get a URL off of this car, but it just kind of turns into a different car the moment you get close. Oh, we're getting close. We're apparently at 90%. Yeah, maybe we speed things up a little bit. Let's say we're in Belarus. Oh, that was in fact actually one of the few parts of Russia that's actually on Google Maps, apparently. Now we're in a very sandy area. It's a long stretch of road. Heading towards some hills. Zanzibar. I should know where Zanzibar is. Zanzibar, an Australia thing? Let's find out. No. No, Zanzibar is very much in Botswana. Got tractor. You know, literally all that tells us is that there are farmers here. Well, yeah, it's not eerily familiar, so it's probably not North Carolina. I feel like this might be somewhere in the UK. Hey, or maybe New England. Hmm. Hey. Yeah, we've got metric. In fact, that looks like French. I guess plunk it down somewhere in the vicinity of Paris, and yep, right, right country at least. All right, still got 7% to go, so let's see if we can time it close to see if we can. So really, we could probably just wander around here and just plunk it down as soon as Master Duel is done. Yeah, downloading the last of that 8 gigabytes. This looks like some kind of suburb. And you know, plenty of picket fences. Seems vaguely English to me. Welcome to Bookland School. No, really getting any specific. Which that's another thing. Thing that could cause. Oh yeah, we're definitely in the UK. And now another thing. Is of course it's gotta be glassworks.org. Yeah, another thing that could make it potentially more difficult to all that with just the US rather than the world is that you can't really go off of URLs because everything's going to be .com or .net or .org or whatever. You know, maybe a few .tvs in the mix. But you know, you don't really have like a US specific extension where it's like, yes, this is explicitly the US extension and for web pages. You know, it's just the default for every you know, .com tends to be the default for most those American URLs. Okay, Master Duel's at 100%, so let's plunk it down somewhere in England. Alright, now we can go back to the Master Duel whole category because I can actually get back to playing Master Duel. These features will help you enjoy dueling to the fullest. Duel battle with duels from all over the world. You can also switch it up and duel according to different rules. Deck. Check your decks and adjust them as you like. Solo. Practice your strategies or read the stories behind the cards. Shop. Get new cards by purchasing card packs, etc. That there's a lot of information, and I don't know what half of it means. Alright, let's see. I think I'm mostly gonna do solo mode. Because, you know, I've played like one full game of Yu-Gi-Oh! At this point. I'm probably not ready to need to play against other human beings. Uncover the hidden stories of the cards and duel with decks built for drawing out their potential. Learn how to pilot each deck and the ins and outs of their strategies. Once you have earned all the rewards within a gate, its status will be updated to complete. If you have any rewards left, it will say clear. There, an icon for locked chapters will be displayed on the gate banner while you still have chapters left to unlock. Duel restart. For when you went to learn or relearn the basics of dueling, take the first step here. We recommend you play this before you try duel training or any of the many gates where you'll experience a story. So this is different from the tutorial. And let's look back at the basics of duels based on the basic controls you learned in the tutorial. First things first, regarding monsters, when you attempt to place a monster on the field, two options will appear, summon it and set. Let's review the difference between summoning and setting. Monsters below level 4 are easy to put on the field. They will be useful, especially in the beginning of a duel. Use the attack and defense values to determine how to put them on the field. Summon a monster with high attack, and summon it by putting it face up in face up attack position, and summon a monster with high defense, set it by putting it in face down defense position. Some monster cards have various features such as high attack, high defense, etc. The attack of your opponent's monster is higher than that if crowned by the world's chalice in your hand. If you summon the monster as is, it will not win. And in battle slots, put the monster on the field in another way. Let's say crowned by the world chalice. Now you're ready for the attack of your opponent's monster. Or end your turn. Your opponent's monster is attacking. And if your set monster is attacked by an opponent's monster, the attack of the opponent's monster is compared with the defense of your monster. Your monster's defense is equal to your opponent's monster's attack. It will not be destroyed in battle, and you will successfully block the opponent's attack. Furthermore, if your monster's defense is greater than your opponent's monster's attack, you will deal no battle damage to your opponent. Okay, so this is basically just to set it up so I was basically just teaching you how to set it up so your opponent will just lose when they go to attack. Next, let's talk about spell cards and trap cards. Many spell and trap cards are single-use cards that are sent into the graveyard after their effects are resolved. However, some spell and trap cards remain on the field instead and continue to have an effect. Let's go over the differences. Spell and trap cards that remain on the field. Use spell and trap cards that would send to the graveyard, but cards with the continuous equip and field icons remain on the field. Notably, field spell cards will be placed in a dedicated field zone, not the spell and trap zone. That's something that kind of figured out completely accidentally before. Opponents reinforcing their monster with the field spell cards. Field spell cards are placed in a dedicated field zone and activate various effects while all placed on the field. Your opponent's field spell cards with the effect of Dust Tornado that you drew. Let's set Dust Tornado. Try summoning Chosen of the Wind, chosen by the World Chalice. Now you're ready for the attack of your opponent's monster. Or end your turn. Your opponent's now activating an equipped spell card. Equipped spell cards are also spell cards that remain on the field. Now, unlike field spell cards that affect the entire field, equipped spell cards affect the monsters that are equipping them. Activate a trap card before your monster is destroyed. Yes, I'm aware of what you're trying to tell me to do. Alright, let's go over spell cards in a little more detail. When you want to play a trap card from your hand to the field, you have to set it, but spell cards can also be activated as well as set. Let's review the difference between activating and setting a card. Spell cards can not only be activated on your turn, but can also be set like trap cards. Many spell cards can be set and then activated during your turn, except for quick play spell cards. Instead, you can set it, then you can activate it on your opponent's turn. For one face-up monster your opponent controls that has the highest defense, your choice of Tide. When putting a spell card from your hand onto the field, you can choose whether to activate or set that card. Break down the difference between the two. Let's set Smashing Ground. Spell cards that are set on your turn can still be activated on that turn. And let's take a look at it in practice. Activate Smashing Ground. You've successfully destroyed your opponent's monster. Her spell cards are primarily used during your turn. And if this is true, not only when activating from the hand, but also when activating cards set on the field. Some spell cards are called quick play spell cards. When activated from the hand, it behaves the same as other spell cards, but when set from the hand, it cannot be activated that turn. Keep in mind that when set, it has a feature that allows it to be activated even during the opponent's turn, just like a trap card. Try summoning Beckoned by the World Chalice. Proceed to the battle phase. Take your opponent's life points directly. In the main phase of your turn, you can freely perform most actions, such as summoning monsters, activating spell, or trap cards, or saying any of the three. The main phase is split into main phase 1 and main phase 2, with one either side of the battle phase. Let's review the role of main phase 2. I mean, based on my own experience since playing Magic, it's probably so that you can do things in response to what happened in combat. Main phase 1 is primarily for preparing to attack in the battle phase, including summoning monsters. After the battle phase is over, remember to move on to main phase 2. In main phase 2, you can prepare for the opponent's turn, such as saying trap cards. In the main phase of your turn, you can perform various actions to advance the duel. Summoning monsters, activating and setting spell and trap cards are some examples. Hello, Gamer Fox. Thanks, how are you doing? Main phase 1 is when you set up for an attack. No successor in your hand cannot be activated even if it is set this turn. Let's first summon a monster and proceed to the battle phase. You're a long-time player, yeah. I think I'm doing pretty well with the tutorial so far. But I'll definitely keep your offer in mind, and if it's unclear here at some point. And let's try attacking a monster. Alright, the opponent's face down defense position monster was a Crimson Ninja. Crimson Ninja destroys a trap card set on the field. If you had set skill successor in main phase 1, it would have been destroyed by the opponent's effect. Let's end the battle phase and move on to main phase 2. Main phase 2 is an important phase to prepare for the opponent's turn. Turn spell trap cards can be activated and set in the same way as it is in main phase 1. Furthermore, if you did not a normal summon, now you're all look at. Also, I read intro tags and we. Oh, night. Oh, night. He's your fellow ace as well. If you did not set a normal summon a monster in main phase 1, you can normal summon a monster in main phase 2. Now let's set skill successor. Now you're ready for the attack of your opponent's monster or end your turn. Yep, and activate its skill successor. That's that part of the Art of Duel restart over. So just warn you, by the time you're in bronze, people will be playing in combo or meta decks. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna be doing anything other than in solo tonight, just to kind of get a handle on things. Takeaway: we've learned and reviewed so far in Duel using the basic rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! No Master Duel. Both players will start with 8,000 life points, and 5 cards in their hand, and you can duel with the deck as is. As, or you can gather our cards to build a new deck. You can try this as many times as you need to better grasp the flow of duels. You've got Beckoned by the World, Old Chalice, Bayonnator, the Painful Barrel. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses 1,000 attack for each monster your opponent controls. But DAI. Okay, so this. Oh yeah, if you control no monsters, special summon one level 4 or normal monster from the deck. Like, yeah, that does seem very good. Yeah, which is probably why it was highlighted. I assume that generally, like, the higher the level, the better the card. Or because, you know, that's all defense. 1,600 attack, like 200 defense. I guess let's go for one of these guys. Nice face up. Most of the time, yes, but some cards can gain attack. It depends on what. I don't like what you mean by, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess in any situation, better is gonna be subjective, depending on what kind of situation you're dealing with. Okay, so when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you take damage equal to the attacking monster's attack, and if you do, banish that monster during the end phase of your opponent's next turn. Special summon that monster to your side of the field. Oh, basically lets you absorb an attack, like to heal a monster. Yeah, so some people go by how much it combos, others judge by attack. Like, then just depends. Yeah, that makes sense because like, it's all a matter of like what kind of game plan you want. They set 2 cards face down. Let's see, warrior effect. Thanks for the follow, Gamer Fox. Yeah, yeah, definitely does look like you set the trap and then summon Blade Knight. Hey, since I'll get that Let me go to battle. I assume that you want to attack with whatever. I assume that you want to attack into monsters with whatever has the highest this attack, so that it has the highest chance of survival. Maybe try an XYZ summon with her 2 beckoned by the World Chalice. Does this deck have XYZ summons? And it's because, like, my understanding is that that's, like, a specific type of card. So, you know, I can definitely try if they included one. It's a main phase 2. Yeah. So okay, so yeah, the Dragon XYZ effect. I use those as material. Oh, and then in the turn. Your opponent's about to end their turn, activate a card or effect. Once returned when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, or you can detach one XYZ material from this card. It can and make a second attack in a row. Oh. So basically the materials are just like basically like acting like counters. Or that can be spent to activate the effect. Draw, skill successor. And I assume we went to set skill successor so that we can get Blade Knight back up. Yeah, we can throw on this guy too. So then, Kachi Dragon. And it kills that, and that triggers the effect, allowing it to attack directly. I guess there's another thing that can special summon. Warrior effect and zombie effect. Yeah, I guess because we can link monsters. That's confusing. Don't try it right now. Okay. Your opponent succeeded in normal summoning a monster, activate a card or effect. I mean, you usually would use Moose Skull's successor in battle, right? It's 400 attack until the end of this turn. Oh yeah, now we've got memory of the adversaries, of an adversary still. Also, we can just steal that. Alright, Ballista Squad, tribute one monster, then target one uncard your opponent and controls, destroy it. Guess maybe we could. I guess we just attack then. Yeah, because we've got more than enough. Increase your life points by the attack of an attacking monster. But that just negates one attack. Heck, and we've still got more than enough. Now we're at goal, mate space, as normal monster card times one unearned. I'll say thanks for the follow. Oh, Nobunaga Oda. Alright, saying in the shape of a card that's our many duels inscribed on this card. Card is a fragment of history. It tells us something about the way monsters were and what happened in the world in which they live. And I guess probably move on to a duel strategy. Alright, duel using the basic rules of Master Duel. For this duel, each player will start with 8,000 life points. Your opponent will try to tribute summon a level 5 or higher monster. Be careful because if a monster summoned in the last turn remains on the field, on the next turn will be sent to the graveyard and a powerful monster will be summoned in exchange. Oh, this one gives a lot of profit. Yeah, I think like I watched a video a while back on like the best way to get started on Master Duel, and it said like to complete basically all of the solo stuff so that you can get all the rewards. Alright, this method used for summoning monsters level 5 and above. You must tribute a certain amount of monsters on your side of the field in order to perform the summon. The amount will depend on the level of monster you want to tribute summon, saying monsters level 5 and above will also require a tribute. As you only have one normal summon per turn, you will not be able to tribute summon if you have already performed your normal summon for the turn. When you unlock this card, add it to your deck. It's called Raigeki. Yeah, you've got Leotard, 3 different and crowned by the world chalices, Mills and a smashing ground. So summoning Leotard. And Leotard is immediately dead. And I guess then we smashing ground that and set a crown by the world chalice. And the crown by the world chalice has got to live. Expects to die if you control no monsters. Special summon. Yeah, but that's useless at this point in time. And maybe if at some point I'm out of monsters. But these spells activate chain another card order effect. Get one face-up spell or one unset spells. Also a trap on the field. Destroy the target if it is a spell. Target is set, reveal it. It's going alright so far. Still haven't gotten anything to actually attack with. It looks like from the looks of it, my trap is about to be gotten rid of. Yeah. Yeah, like everything we've got right now is in defense mode anyway. Alright, Baninator, or the Baneful Barrel. Okay, apparently there's something that I can special summon. It looks like that's that looks like that's link summon stuff. So maybe not right now. Yes, we just end because I don't have anything to attack with. Easy bet. Or Kachi, he would get sacrificed. So now they've got something that's actually big enough to kill. I'll have to start killing things. Now we've got Blade Knight. Gains 400 attack when you have one or less cards in your hand. Control no other monster. Knows the effects of flip monsters. Destroy battle with this card are negated. Just summon Bayo, then link into Gaia Saber. There we go. It just didn't click the right thing. Right, Bayo effect first. Right, and then special summon and Gaia Saber or the Lightning Shadow. It needs 2 or more, so it doesn't matter if we do more. Actually, I think that was a different one that said 2 or more because like I think this one is 3. Right, so then we go to battle. This is using just pure attack, right? Or do we need to get up to the 3,000 to 1,000 for those defense points? Yes, I guess because we just got a little bit of extra damage then. Okay, Link 2 is worth 2 monsters, so it says 2 plus like Link 2 and the regular monster equal 3. Because now we've got Ballista Squad. We can summon Blade Knight. And set the Ballista Squad so that now Blade Knight will get its buff. Alright, kill that and attack directly. And then pass. I don't think we need to Ballista Squad right now. Alright, target one defense position monster in the field, destroy that target. It might as well just go. And next time activate Soul Exchange. I didn't think I had anything called Soul Exchange. Like we've got Skill Successor. I mean, it looks like I think that would be overkill at this point. Right now we've got Raigeki. Yeah. If we needed the 800 extra attack, heck, we certainly could have used it. It's more than one way to build a deck. It's also important to customize your deck according to the strengths and those of your opponent. Is risky to attack carelessly since the opponent's deck takes advantage of his high defense. Use Shield Crush or Raigeki earned in the previous chapter to destroy your opponent's monsters and attack them directly. Yeah, you said to put Raigeki in the deck as soon as we get it. And I assume that I'm gonna assume that you generally want to keep as few cards in the deck as you can. And so that you get greater consistency. Let's see, Hirageki is a board wipe, so basically swap out any of our more or specific make removal. Even monsters can be summoned and from the hand, and they can be stepped from out of the hand. Yeah, the position of the monster is in will determine the value or number that is used in battle calculations. Attack position versus attack position. The attack of both monsters will be used. Attack position versus defense position. The attack of the monster and the attack position and the defense of the monster and defense position will be used. Send one rock monster from your deck to graveyard, inflict take 500 damage to your opponent. Revival Golem. The effective Revival Golem can only be used once per turn. When this card is sent from your deck to the graveyard, activate one of these effects. Special summon this card from the graveyard, add this card from the graveyard to your hand. And okay, so let's see. Activate this card by targeting one monster in your graveyard. Special summon that target in attack position. When this card leaves the battlefield, destroy that monster. When that monster is destroyed, destroy this card. Guess we set one of those and summon Leotar. Guess we could just as easily set both. Right, since that guy's in defense position, he's only 100. At least I think I misunderstood something somewhere. Chosen by the World Chalice. And I'm getting hit for another 500 directly. Alright, hate some of the Chosen by the World Chalice, and then go battle and maybe hack those face down monsters. One down, but I also this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Double any battle damage that your opponent takes when they attack this monster. Yeah, this one definitely seems pretty annoying. Alright, Sorceress Spell Wall. All monsters you control will gain 300 attack during your turn only. So I guess we activate that. And normal summon Bayonator. But that only affects it. But Bayonator only affects attack, so. No, I guess we go to battle. Okay, so that just didn't have any effect. Okay, I think. Oh, I think I know where I made my mistake. I think I'm getting numbers confused. Right, Toon Warrior and alright, we can special summon either of these apparently. The synchro summon? Oh, Mighty Warrior. Yeah, if we normal summon Toon Warrior, then we can synchro summon and Mighty Warrior. If this card destroys an opponent's monster by a battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the destroyed monster's original attack. Okay, since those were both sent to the graveyard, we could at any point use Call of the Haunted to special summon them back to the field. Yes, but just one. Well, I mean, we've got two different Call of the Haunted, so no, I would be able to do both. It would just take using both of the calls. Also, I'm thinking right now we probably just let's go to battle. Oh, which extra deck do you pick? I win with the Dragon one, and I forget the exact name. Yeah, let's see. Both of these will only be 19. So it's looking like we probably just go to battle and attack with the Mighty Warrior. Trying to guess we can see what happens if we attack. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that's a destroyer golem. Alright, another chosen by the World Chalice. Guess we normal summon that one. And we've got the option to do one of a couple link summons. And it's maybe we go ahead and get Gaia Saber out. Or I guess looks like we can't. I think we just go to battle then. Go ahead and kill that. Let's see to use extra monster zones of Mighty Warrior. The main monster. Those are some it would work. So now we can start attacking on through. Right, memory of an adversary. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you take 8 damage equal to the attacking monster's attack, and if you do, I guess we can set it on the off chance it becomes useful at some point. I mean, because solid bedrock seems to not want to attack. I can instead has a lot of stuff that triggers on defense. Call the Haunted in battle phase. I guess just bring this guy in. Oh yeah. Yeah, since he can just attack immediately. Hey, that's gonna be something I'll have to get used to, is being able to just summon something in battle and attack immediately with it. Because like the main trading card game I have much experience with is Magic the Gathering, and in that game you have to have most of what you attack with before you start combat. In fact, usually you can't attack with something unless you controlled it since the beginning of your previous turn. So it was the beginning of the current turn. Monster Reborn, target one monster in either graveyard, special summon it. Yeah, summoning sickness is what makes it to where you can't and attack or activate a creature each or the turn it comes into play, unless it has haste. You can usually summon one monster per turn. However, you can summon more than one monster per turn by utilizing special summons. Use unexpected die. Call of the Haunted and Monster Reborn from the previous chapter to attack with multiple monsters in rapid succession. Yeah, haste is when a creature can swing in that turn. Guess we throw this in. And then maybe you replace something with it. Oh, you're thinking about getting back into Magic? Let's see. I mean, Dust Tornado certainly has its uses. I mean, I've yet to use Ballista squad for anything. Ebb of the World Chalice. I mean, Crowned by the World Chalice seems to at least be useful as, as fodder for some effects. I think I understand what special summons are at this point. And so I guess you put down Sorcerer's Spell Wall. 3. Also, that there is a one like this layer with I8. Really annoying. I mean, I don't know what IA is, so well, I guess I'll find out then. We can set the dust tornado. Like, let's see, the equipped monster gains 800 attack defense for each face of monster you control. Yeah, that doesn't seem like something that we want them to have right now. Set spell trap have card on the field. Don't think so. It definitely seems like we might want to write Eki. So then we can bring in Leotar. Attack, but then they special summon. And the I mean, I guess we can continue to attack. Got Dust Tornado again. Warrior type hit monsters you control gain 200 attack for each warrior or spellcaster type monster you control. We set Dust Tornado again. And summon Bayonator. And this card is destroyed by battle. Once into the graveyard and didn't let me finish reading the text there, so I guess I'll have to read it here. You can special summon one Earth Warrior monster with 1500 or less attack or deck in the attack position. And so I guess then we just pass. And activate Hidden Trap to get rid of that. Right, skill successor. Maybe we set the skill successor. All warrior and beast warrior monsters on the field gain plus 200 attack, / defense. I think we end the turn there. Because then when they attack into Leotar, or we can activate skill succession. Right, smashing ground. And use it to get rid of that, and so now they're down to just Swordmaster. I have Field Commander Raz. As when this card is normal or special summon, choose one level 4 or warrior type monster from your deck except Field Commander Raz. And place it on top of your deck. Right, got another Leotar, so just go ahead and normal summon that. And I guess I just end. Now I use. If you'd like to duel me, I have a special deck that I only use against first timers. It's a very simple deck, and your starter deck can beat it. I mean, maybe it's like, yeah, I wasn't really planning on dueling anyone tonight. I'll probably also be wrapping up the stream fairly soon, as I usually wrap up at around 3 a.m. EST, and it's 2:41 right now. But, I'd be open to it later. I think we just go to battle. I guess we can just go ahead and set that for right now. Just gotta face out the monster in defense mode. Alright, so it looks like probably just gonna be continuing to beat face for a while. Probably actually could have finished it up that turn. Alright, Toon Warrior, Alright, if we normal summon in Toon Warrior, then you can flip summon I'm crowned by the World Chalice. Well then thought I was gonna be able to. Guess there must be some condition that I overlooked. Kill that and finish them off. Oh, okay. Hey, that's what I was overlooking, was that we needed to be able to add up of the levels. Got Mermaid and Captain. We got the options of practice, or I can just move on to the next duel. Many monsters with low attack and defense that can help you win duels with their special effects. By summoning Marmite and Captain earned in the previous chapter, you can draw a new card instead of returning a card to your deck. If that card is a monster, you can special summon it, so take advantage of it. Maybe we go for this practice. And depending on how long that takes, it might be near the end of the stream. Yeah, the summoning allows you to bring out synchro monsters. You must first gather to summon, and you must first gather to the field the materials listed on the synchro monster you want to summon. Every synchro monster will need a common monster called a tuner to be summoned, but the specific monsters you need will depend on each synchro monster. And during your main phase, you will need to send your face of materials, including the necessary tuners, to the graveyard. Their combined levels must add up to the level of the synchro monster you want to summon for your extra deck. Got double summon. You can conduct two normal summon sets this turn, not just one. So then activate that. And then we get to special summon in one of these level 5s. Either Junk Warrior or Scarred Warrior. I cannot target face-up warrior type monsters for attacks except this one. Once per turn, this card would be destroyed. It is not destroyed. That sounds neat. Hey, let's try out that guy. Synchro summon successful. Try attacking with a monster. Oh yeah, it's not. First, it's not gonna take very long. I think probably we could just finish off these practices, which seems to just be a series going over the different kinds of special summons. Well, thanks for the follow, No War on China. The summoning monster allows you to bring out XYZ monsters. You must first gather to the field the number of monsters listed. The XYZ monster description is materials. Those levels of each material must match the XYZ monster's rank and numerical value. Most XYZ monsters require 2 monsters of the same level, but others may require 3 or more. Or some may also require materials of specific types and or attributes. During your main phase, you'll need to overlay 2 or more face-up monsters of the same level on your field in the zone you would like to summon your XYZ monster to. Then you can summon an XYZ monster whose conditions have been met from the extra deck. The monsters have been stacked underneath the XYZ monster become its materials, which you can use to activate its effect. Try summoning in Goblinberg. This card is normal summon. You can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand. Also, after that, change this card to defense position. Then that lets us special summon number 39 Utopia or Heroic Champion and Excalibur. And once per turn, you can detach 2 materials from this card. This card's attack becomes double its original attack until the end of your opponent's turn. And when a monster declares an attack, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the attack. If this card is targeted for an attack while it has no material, destroy this card. Now let's try out Heroic Champion and Excalibur. Here we'll use Pendulum Summon and a method of summoning multiple Pendulum monsters at the same time. This summoning method allows you to special summon multiple monsters all at once. Pendulum monsters are marked with special markers of special numbers called the Pendulum Scale, which is important for pendulum summoning. They also have pendulum effects that can be used when they are being treated as spell cards. During your main phase, activate 2 pendulum monsters from your hand by placing one on the leftmost spell on trap zone and the other on the rightmost zone. Then you can special summon as many monsters as you want from your hand, as long as their levels fall between the numbers noted on the pendulum scale, not inclusive. Now, if pendulum summons differ from other special summoning methods like synchro summons, etc., in the way that you can only perform them once per turn. activate Pendulum Monster as a spell card. I think it's the higher ones that you want. Pendulum monsters are on the left and right ends of your trap and spell card zones. And let's try a Pendulum Summon. Now it's saying please attack with. Alright, so just one more of these practice things, and then. Alright, here we'll use Link Summon and wait to summon Link monsters from the extra deck. I have not actually watched any of the anime. Like, I have very little context on that front. Right, this summoning method allows you to bring out Link monsters. To summon a Link monster, you will need the number of materials equal to the amount of Link arrows it has, which is also equal to its Link rating. And they will also gain a range of effects depending on what zones or Link arrows those point to, or what cards are in those zones. During your main phase, send the face-up monsters on your field that you want to use as Link materials to your graveyard. Then you can summon a Link monster whose conditions have been met from your extra deck into the extra monster zone. Normally, one monster will count as one Link material, but for Link monsters, your Link rating will denote how many materials they can be counted as. Try Link Summon. Link Slayer. Or if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards and target that many spell. Alright, special summon Link Slayer. Special summon Backup Secretary. For monsters are in your field, try a Link Summon. And so we can summon Honeybot. If the player can target monsters that this card points to with card effects, and those monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. And summon. And this last thing. Oh, and then it wants us to do it again to summon a level 3 monster. And that's it. And that brings us pretty much exactly to 3 a.m. EST. I think that's where I'm gonna call it tonight. So thank you to everyone who stopped by tonight. Next stream in name of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know when. Probably some Saturday in the future. And next stream in general is planned for this Tuesday, with some some chat guesser. Right now, let me see. It's live, with Master Duel. Also, you can send somebody a raid. Let's see. You know, let's give this person a rate. Hey, they've got an interesting name.